The June 26, 2017 meeting Environmental Public Works Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk call the roll, please?
Mr. Baroff. Chairwoman Boyce.
Here.
Mr. Brew. Here. Ms. DeFlorio. Here. Mr. Flagler Mitchell. Here. Mr. Holland. Here. Mr. Marinetti. Here.
Is there anybody present to speak at the public forum? Seeing none, public forum is closed. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. You have the May 22nd, 2017 minutes before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. New items, new business. Mr. Clerk.
Referral 17-0184.
Moved by Legislator Brew, seconded by Legislator Howland. Any questions on the floor? Yes, Legislator DeFlorio.
Can you please just kind of go through an explanation of the increase in the change in time period? I'm assuming the time period changed as well.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Through the chair, this was adopted in February of 2017 for a contract for Monroe County Sheriff's Office and DES to have a combined contract for fleet maintenance for the vehicles of both departments. However, during the contract negotiation, it was determined that the amounts weren't correctly reflected in the resolution, and there was additional amounts that were contemplated by the RFP that were not, like I said, put in the resolution. So when we went back and determined what was missing, there was $23,054 missing for the Monroe County Sheriff's Office and $14,422 missing needed for the Department of Environmental Services contract, so that both companies could have a 3-year contract for fleet maintenance.
Through the chair, could you explain in a little more detail what that amount covers?
For the Monroe County Sheriff's Department, that covers basically the cost of a 3-year service agreement that we'll have that will provide maintenance, annual maintenance and support for over the 3 years of the contract. And for the Department of Environmental Services, I'm not 100% sure. I believe there was some living expenses that were excluded, travel expenses for the company as they perform their service for Department of Environmental Services.
Through the chair, Commander Fowler for the Sheriff's Office. So we were trying to combine two departments to share a contract for software services for fleet maintenance. But it became difficult because we had two separate set of requirements going into the contract. We were each trying to accomplish a little bit different things, and we were trying to find a way to share this in the resolution. What was left out was additional years of the service agreement. And when we noticed that through contract negotiations, we went back and are submitting the amendment to cover those years of service, the service agreement for the follow-on years.
Through the chair, just to be clear, the additional funding kind of evens the contract out for both entities or both departments?
Through the chair, it does change the amount, but the two pieces of the contract are not equal because the size of the fleet for each department is vastly different. So DES is paying a higher rate than the Sheriff's Office is because of the volume of vehicles that they deal with.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Mr. Howland.
Chair, does this contract upgrade any of the systems that you have, or are you getting new systems to replace old systems?
Through the chair, it completely replaces a very old system that we're using now.
Yes, Mr. Howland.
Will you be running a parallel systems for a while, the old and the new, to make sure the new one works?
Through the chair, the only period of time where we'll be running parallel systems is during the data conversion piece, and then we'll be solely operating under the new software.
Thank you.
Further questions? Mr. Baroff?
Thank you. Through the chair of the administration, in a previous committee meeting, it was stated that Dossier had not actually begun the work. Is that correct?
Through the chair, that's correct.
Thank you. Through the chair of the administration, has that resulted in any delay in the actual rollout of this software program? Because we're talking about a 5-month delay here.
Through the chair, so the contract has not been initiated yet, so no start.
Okay. So through the chair of the administration, you mentioned there's only going to be one period of time where the two systems, the old and the new system, will be running in parallel, and that's going to be during the data conversion process. When is that anticipated to occur after this 5-month delay? Through the chair.
Through the chair, hopefully with legislative approval in the month of July, we'll be able to start August 1st.
Thank you. And through the chair of the administration, I understand that there was a missing approximate $37,000 in the approved contract that wasn't reflected in the RFP, so we had to balance the two out. My question is, there was still about $63,000 that was included. Why was it that the contract could not be initiated with the understanding that we were going to get approval, as we consider to be almost a foregone conclusion that we will approve this? Why the 5-month delay in that case?
Through the chair, through our overly cautious desire to be upfront and make sure we had the correct resolution in place, we chose to wait until we could get the full amount approved.
Okay, so I'm clear. So I understand the desire to be upfront and very forthright about what we can get approved for sure and what we anticipate to get approved. I understand that. My question, though, is with this 5-month delay, do we anticipate that the end point of the delivery of service is going to change in any way, or it will in fact be meet the standards of the original RFP?
Through the chair, So through the chair, just to be clear, the delay in the implementation of the software is not going to cause any concern for us. We've been operating with an old software piece for quite a while, so the length of the contract will run for 3 years, and it will expire on the anniversary date at which we enter into the contract.
Okay. Thank you. Through the chair, I understand that we have a legacy system in place currently that can handle the work at perhaps a reduced efficiency. I understand that. My question is, are the terms of the RFP, the original RFP, going to be met, including in terms of the timeline and the layout of what was going to occur when or not? It's possible, but unlikely that's the case. That could occur. But I'm just wondering, is it in fact anticipated the RFP will be met? Through the chair.
Through the chair, is the legislator indicating a concern for a calendar deadline?
My concern is whether or not the RFP will be honored in its entirety or not, through the chair.
Through the chair, yes. We have no reason to believe otherwise.
Not to belabor the point, but there is a 5-month delay that's affecting this. However, I'm not going to pursue this any further. I recognize that an error was made and we're trying to make it right. My suggestion is, however, that even if we have a legacy system in place, the fact is we're purchasing this new system because it does the job better. Correct? Through the chair.
Through the chair, I'm not sure you understand how poorly suited the legacy system is. We're bridging this gap manually until we can start the new contract.
Thank you. So what you're telling me then, through the chair, is that because of this 5-month delay, additional hours are being spent by our staff in DES and the Sheriff's Office and whoever else is helping to make up for this 5-month delay. Correct? Through the chair.
Through the chair, yes, that's correct.
Thank you. And finally, I'm assuming through the chair that this additional work that's being put in by our staff is in fact going to ensure there's no deviation or delays in the maintenance cycle. Is that correct?
Through the chair, absolutely.
Thank you very much for your time.
Further questions, Legislator Brew?
Thank you. Through the chair, does the existing legacy system presently interface to the county SAP system?
Through the chair, no, it does not.
Okay. And per the resolution, the dossier system, provided system, will have that interface to the county SAP system. Is that correct?
Through the chair, the link to SAP was an additional expense through SAP that we chose not to pursue.
Okay, so we could strike that last sentence out where the system provides for interface into the county SAP accounting system.
Through the chair, Mr. Brew.
My apologies, through the chair.
Through the chair, I'm sorry, I misunderstood your question. The module that we're buying provides an ability to download files to SAP. However, we did not pursue the SAP fleet. They have their own fleet maintenance program that was quite a bit more expensive.
Okay, through the chair, my follow-up question would be that, yes, if there was an interface to the county accounting system through SAP, if there would be any county resources needed to make that happen, but as I understand your response, that would not be required.
Through the chair, that's correct.
That's all.
Any further questions? Seeing none, all in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution passes. Next item on the agenda.
Referral 17-0206.
Moved by Mr. Howland, seconded by Legislator DeFlorio. Questions on the floor? Legislator DeFlorio.
Thank you. Through the chair, can you please explain why this is a matter of importance?
Through the chair, Jason Kennedy, Deputy Director with DES. The CFA application process was formally announced on May 1st. The process requires legislative authorization or, generally speaking, a resolution from the governing body of the applicant in order to make the application. Applications are due on July 28th. So when the program came out in May 1, it's a 300-page document. It took us time to review to see if there was any potential projects that might match with potential programs. And so just due to the legislative referral cycle, it was critical that we get it in for a July adoption. So we had to bring it in as a matter of urgency because we just didn't have time to get it ready for June intro.
Thank you.
Further questions? Yes, Legislator Mitchell.
Madam Chair, why was this not submitted in a timely fashion?
Through the chair, as I just explained, the program was announced on May 1. It takes time to review the program and see if there's any potential fits between potential projects and programs included under the umbrella of the CFA. So we were simply unable to introduce it by the June legislative meetings or ask for authorization for a matter of urgency in order to meet the application deadline of July 28th.
Okay, through you, Madam Chair, to the administration. So you did have this before the June legislature meeting, I'm understanding. Is that correct?
Through the chair, that's not correct. The program was announced on May 1, but the time it takes to evaluate the program and see if there are any potential fits took us beyond the standard introduction of the June legislative meeting. So we brought it in afterwards as an MOU.
Okay, and
excuse me, MOI. Through the chair.
And through the chair, through you, Madam Chair, we'll be writing the grant application for submission. Through you, Madam Chair.
Through the chair, we would coordinate with any submitting departments at this point in time. DES is expecting we may have one candidate project, so we would take lead on authoring the referral with the administration.
Thank you.
Any further questions? So I have one further question. Mr. Kennedy, you indicated just now that there might be one potential project. So that's, at this point, there's only one, or are you still going to be in the process between now and when you submit it of looking for other projects?
To the chair, we do have one potential project. We have a couple of other candidate projects. We're still debating the eligibility and whether we would meet the requirements of the program, but certainly we have one at this point in time.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, if there's no other further questions, indicate your vote by saying aye. Aye. Any resolution passes. Okay. Is there any new business? Seeing none, this committee will stand adjourned. And our next meeting for the Environmental Public Works will be Monday, July 24th at 5:45 p.m. Thank you.